Donald Trump may have pushed out some of America's top generals, but now those very same figures could come back to haunt him. A Washington insider is urging Congress to use them as the ultimate weapon against the draft-dodging commander-in-chief. The alarm bells are ringing, and I've got all the details coming up. And since we're already talking about political warfare, there's another breaking story you need to hear. Just moments ago, Hakeem Jeffries went full DEFCON 1 on Speaker Mike Johnson, slamming him for shielding Trump while blocking the swearing-in of a newly elected congresswoman. His words were some of the harshest yet. You'll want to see this clash for yourself, and then I'll break down how those fired generals could become Trump's biggest nightmare.
Well, the Trump administration and Mike Johnson are running a pedophile protection program. That's what they've been doing. And that's the reason why they refuse to swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva. For weeks now, she was elected in late September decisively. And Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva still hasn't been sworn in because she'll become the 218th vote on an up or down piece of legislation that will require the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files. And yet week after week after week have gone by, and Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva is unable to serve 800,000 plus people in the state of Arizona, all because of the pedophile protection program being run by Mike Johnson and House Republicans at the direction of their boss, Donald J. Trump.
But that's not all. He goes further, calling out the cruelty of the ongoing shutdown and pointing to the damage it's inflicting, not just on the country, but on Trump himself.
At the same period of time, it's extraordinary that Donald Trump, his administration, and corrupt Republicans on Capitol Hill are voluntarily and intentionally withholding SNAP benefits from 42 million Americans who are at risk of going hungry. This includes 16 million children. This is an intentional decision not to pay full benefits because the money exists in a contingency fund to ensure that not a single American, not a single child, not a single veteran, not a single senior goes hungry. This irresponsible behavior is the reason why the overwhelming majority of the American people are very clear that under Republican control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, the country is moving in the wrong direction. Donald Trump's disapproval ratings are in the toilet.
So here's where it gets even more interesting. While Trump keeps waging his battles at home, a Washington Post contributor is floating a bold idea, one that could turn the tables. He suggests Democrats should call on the very generals Trump pushed out, using their voices as a powerful weapon against the so-called outlaw commander-in-chief. The headline that grabbed my attention comes from Max Boot, a respected military historian and analyst. It reads, "Why is Trump politicizing the military? Ask the fired generals. Why are so many generals getting fired? Congress should summon them to find out." And that's where the story takes a sharp turn. Let me walk you through the highlights. There have been countless scandals under the Trump administration, but one of the most serious has flown largely under the radar. It involves an effort by former President Donald Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to politicize the U.S. military, to reshape it into a tool for their MAGA agenda while using military force in increasingly aggressive and troubling ways. Over time, the administration has quietly pushed out senior officers who refuse to fall in line. Two recent departures are particularly alarming. In mid-October, the Pentagon abruptly announced the retirement of Admiral Alvin, head of U.S. Southern Command. The Atlantic later reported that Halsey had voiced concerns over controversial boat strikes, leading to a tense confrontation with Hegseth. Around the same time, CNN revealed that Lieutenant General Joe McGee, the Joint Staff's Director for Strategy, Plans, and Policy, also left his post after clashing with the administration on issues ranging from Russia and Ukraine to U.S. operations in the Caribbean. Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island, a former Army officer and the top Democrat on the Senate Armed Services Committee, publicly sounded the alarm last week. On the Senate floor, he warned that Trump is trying to politicize an institution that has remained fiercely nonpartisan for nearly 250 years, undermining the professionalism and sacrifice of America's service members. members. If Congress doesn't act soon, Reid cautioned, the damage could take generations to repair. He outlined several steps lawmakers could take, from codifying bans on political activity at military bases to requiring congressional notification before dismissing top generals and admirals and mandating congressional approval for domestic troop deployments except in true emergencies. All of those are important measures, but perhaps the most urgent thing Congress can do right now is to bring Holley, McGee, and other dismissed officers before a committee to testify under oath about what they've witnessed since Trump took office. The American people deserve to hear the truth directly from those who served, unless, of course, the Republican majority in Congress simply can't handle what that truth might reveal about how Trump has treated the U.S. military.
Those are just the highlights. If you want the full story, you can find it at the Washington Post. Here's the bigger picture. Donald Trump, along with his underqualified Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, is reshaping the military into a political weapon, using purges, fear, and loyalty tests to get his way. The result? 2 of the nation's most respected officers were forced out simply for questioning his reckless orders. Trump isn't looking for seasoned generals with expertise. He's looking for loyalists, people who will follow orders without hesitation. And while Democrats have been talking tough, the moment has come to fight tough by weaponizing the truth. Calling those fired generals to testify wouldn't just put Trump and Hegseth on the defensive. It would send a powerful message to every active general. Loyalty to the country must come before loyalty to a wannabe strongman. In the end, their resistance could be the most powerful weapon we have to stop Trump's assault on American democracy. That wraps up today's coverage. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. If you found this breakdown useful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the next update. I'll be back soon with more stories, more insights, and more conversations that matter. Until then, stay informed, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.